Friends, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Friends, think about what makes you rejoice. What makes you happy? I'll go first. The thought of being able to see some of you in person makes me really happy. Today is Halloween. We're a day late taping and posting our church school video for this week, but today is Halloween. Topher is dressed as Thing 3. He's very happy. He's dressed as Thing 3 now, but when we go outside from 1 to 3, when we have this incredible candy delivery system, safe contactless system set up for you all, it's going to be so epic. He's going to be dressed as something else, but for a few hours this afternoon from 1 to 3, I get to hang out outside and send candy down the chute that Sarah and I made so everyone can stay safe. That makes me happy. And I get to see some of you. That is certainly something that makes me rejoice. What about you? What makes you rejoice? Pause the video right now and share with those around you. What makes you rejoice? Ready? Pause. Yeah, I've just been waiting here. Topher and I have been pausing. And we're back. All right, let's get ready for our time together. So friends, go find your orange backpacks, your orange folders. Take out the page for week 4, because we're already at week 4. Take out the family page that says, "Blessed are those who mourn." Take out your notebook. Mine is yellow, remember? And then I have the one that I use with the older kids. Take those out and put that to the side. I can wait. I'm having tea. That makes me happy. That makes me very happy. Okay. Last week I asked you to think about a few things and talk about them with your families. So one of the questions were, have you ever had a time when you wondered if things would get better? And do you know someone who is poor in spirit right now? And how can you encourage them? So this week, I sent out some cards to some folks who I thought might need to be reminded that they are loved. Maybe you drew some pictures this week. I would love it if you could share those with us. Just take a picture of it and email me at chris@stjamesbirmingham.org. Ian shared with me his picture of what he thinks the kingdom of God looks like. It looks like the pillars in the sun, or what he thinks it looks like. It feels like the smiling heart. It smells like pie. It tastes like candy, and it sounds like a harp. Thanks, Ian. I think this is epic. I love to see what you all are working on. So we're here again today in the Undercroft. It's what I call my office in the basement of the house. Topher and I are just hanging out. Oh, thank you, Timbits, if I didn't say it last week, for his Thing 3 sweatshirt. They went to a thrift store and found that for Topher. So we're ready to share the next Beatitude. Now, remember, the Beatitudes are also called the Sermon on the Mount because Jesus goes up the mountain to teach his followers. And folks followed Jesus that day because they really wanted to hear him speak. And remember, mountains had special meaning in Jesus' time. People believed that mountains were holy places to connect with God. Maybe because they reached high up into the sky. But Jesus knew mountains reminded people of God's presence with them. So that's why I think that he chose a mountain as a good place to share the Beatitudes, these blessings. And remember, there are 9 blessings, 9 ways in which Jesus lists people are blessed. And to be blessed meant to be happy or satisfied. People often thought that being happy or content was a result of how life was going for them. But as we know, Jesus liked to turn what we think we know upside down and show us a new way. Last week, Jesus shared the first Beatitude. Remember, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So let's hear what Jesus said next. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. So to mourn means to be sad. People mourn when they've lost something. And when we're feeling sad, we want to feel better, right? And sometimes when we mourn, when we're sad, we cry. Did you know that there were people in Jesus' time, just like today, who were taught that crying was a shameful thing to do? That mourning showed weakness. So in this promise, Jesus speaks to people who mourn or cry and praises them. Why do you think he did this? Well, yeah, because he wanted us to know it's okay to cry. Yeah, he wanted us to know it's okay to show our feelings. I bet that everyone here has cried before. I know I have, at least a few times this week. Why do you think people cry? Yep, because they're sad. Or they're worried. Oh, they're scared, like Halloween. There are some things that scare me on Halloween. Yeah, some people even cry when they're happy. I cried a little bit this week because I was happy. Crying shows that we're alive, that we're awake, that we're aware of what's going on. Crying shows that we're brave. Crying shows that we're willing to feel pain, and our own pain and maybe somebody else's pain. I know that sometimes I cry because somebody else is crying. You cry, you're not trying to block the pain around you or keep your distance from it. Tears and crying are important, especially when what makes us cry is painful or hard to hold. It's a beautiful way we connect with God. Did you know that God cries too? And that Jesus cried during his time on earth? God cries for everyone. God's heart is wide and holds all the pain of everyone hurting throughout the whole world. And when we cry, it's God's way of sharing in God's heart. Jesus promises us here that God will comfort us when we cry. And Jesus promised God would bring comfort and make things right for all the people listening who faced injustice, who faced shame, who faced poverty, who faced any of those things that caused them to cry and to grieve, to mourn. One way God brings comfort is through you. When you offer your hand or your loving words, especially to someone who's sad, you are God's comfort to that person. Crying together and being vulnerable always helps us belong with each other, and they bring us close to God. So friends, that's our lesson this week about the Beatitudes. And this is what I would like you to do. Get your notebook. It's where you can take notes or write down questions that you might have for me or for Father Josh. Then you can email those questions to us or take a picture of it and send it to us at chris@stjamesbirmingham.org. You can use your notebook to hold all of your coloring pages. That's what I do. See that here? And there's a great set of questions for you and your families on that week 4 handout. It's at the top and it says, family question, is it safe to cry? I really encourage you to have those conversations together. And then it suggests making a tear jar as a reminder of how God holds our tears and how God holds us when we're sad. So friends, here's your blessing for today. In Jesus' time, to be blessed meant to be happy to the fullest and greatly honored, considered amazing. So friends, may God bless you and keep you. May God's face shine upon you and give you peace. You are blessed and you are a blessing to others. See you next week.